Good morning and welcome back to Coffee Break.
So it's officially fall, and most of our fall books are now on the bookshelves, looking all beautiful and buyable, you know.
Ready to be out in the world and in your home.
So we just thought we'd give you a sneak peek into what we're coming out with in the spring.
First one on my pile is Samira and the Skeletons. So this is an international import, that's why it's not in English, as you can probably tell.
And the cover will actually look completely different.
Yes, it will. So Samira and her best friend in school learn that everyone has a skeleton, which they think is really weird. Like, how can that prop skeleton be similar to me? And Samira gets kind of freaked out and starts seeing all of her classmates as skeletons.
This is Samira, and I love the look on her face, like, oh my god. And like, you can't unsee it, you know?
Right. So she kind of stops hanging out with her best friend because she freaks her out, and she asks her mom to get rid of her skeleton, and her mom deals with this in the best way possible. I'll just let you guess from the illustration what's gonna happen. Yeah. I promise she is a good mother.
This is just a really funny book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm excited to read this one next Halloween.
Yes.
You know, and we actually have another book that's translated from Norwegian. This one is Night Guard. And it's actually a book of poetry. You know, it's kind of like that nice small trim size, and it's illustrated, and it's just like these illustrations are just gorgeous. Yeah, it's Stian Ol, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. And he's done some picture books for us, like Anna's Heaven and the Garmin books. But this is the first time we're seeing him kind of work for an older audience, and they're just really beautiful, and the poems are really nice too. So this is just, it's a really good book to kind of curl up with, and you know, it's got lots of like emotions and heartfelt things, so it's comforting. I really like this book, so I'm excited to see where this finds a home.
This book is translated from German. It's called Our Father, and it is a beautiful walkthrough of the Lord's Prayer. So it has a nice little intro kind of about the Lord's Prayer and why we have the Lord's Prayer, and then let's see, so then there's a spread that just has the full Lord's Prayer, and then it goes kind of page, like phrase by phrase, this beautiful kind of meditation on a phrase with an illustration. Yeah,
and I really like the kind of bold, colorful illustrations with it. Like, it really pulls you in.
Yeah.
And yeah, the text itself is really beautiful, because I think this is one of those like things that, you know, lots of people know this prayer, but it's got such old language in it. You know?
I think it could be a really nice kind of bedtime meditation, you know, and you don't have to get through the whole thing in one evening, but just kind of work your way through with your kid.
So this one is called Mom, There's a Bear at the Door. Yeah, as the title kind of tells you what it's going to be. But yeah, this boy comes up to his mom and says, "Mom, there is a bear at the door." And it's fun because this book is entirely dialogue, and so this is like a great read aloud. You can go back and forth, you know, if you wanted to. But it's all like, well, that's odd. How did the bear get here? Where did he come from? Why is he here? And so it's just, you know, it's kind of this creative, tall tale kind of story, and it's just really, really fun.
I love the beautiful relationship between the kid and his mom.
Yeah,
and how she just, you know, she just goes along with it. This is her kid telling her a story, and they're just hanging out together while he tells her this.
It is. It's really sweet. You kind of get like, there's the parent-child relationship, but there's also a kind of friendship there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Also, great urban child setting. I feel like there aren't many picture books that are about, like, growing up in the city.
Oh yeah, I love that spread where he and the bear are just, like, having a picnic on the rooftop. As one does.
This next one is a homegrown title called One Big Family. You may be familiar with this already because we interviewed the author, Mark Harshman, recently.
Yeah.
So we've talked a little bit about it, but now we can show you some of the art more close up.
Yeah, these are the printer's proofs, so this is how it's going to look.
So this is, for me, this whole book is nostalgia because it's just really great moments about hanging out with family and a big family reunion, and
Yeah, I don't have a big family, so I can't relate to anything in this book, but that's okay. I still really like it.
so it, kind of even starts with being in the car all together and just like the craziness of being on a road trip. And then, some favorite summer activities that you might have done with your cousins, like jumping in ponds from rope swings.
Yeah, or like running away from angry bees. There's that too. Yeah, I love the artwork in this because it's got that kind of really nice, summery, warm feel to it.
It like almost glows.
Yeah, exactly. So another one I'm really excited about is The Blue Jackal. And this is an Indian folktale, and it's actually like traditional Worli artwork. So it's really got that kind of timeless, classic folktale feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because it's told in verse, and it really works for this medium and everything. And it's just about like this poor little tiny jackal that's picked on by all of the other jackals, and so he ends up falling into this vat of blue dye, and it dyes his fur blue, and then everyone's like, oh my god, what is this strange creature? He must be our king! And it's kind of like a Rudolph kind of story, but cooler than that.
Yeah. I love, I never thought that I would love such simple art this much. Like, it's so vibrant.
But I was saying, but you look at it and like all the lines and everything, it's really intricate.
Right, like it's not actually simple.
No. And so I'm really excited. I just love the look and the feel of this book.
Yeah.
And I think the story is really great.
Our last title is from Australia. It's called Parachute. I love the play with perspective in this book.
Yeah, the artwork's really, really cool.
And I can't help but fall in love with the little boy.
Toby.
So Toby is adorable, but he has a problem, and he's scared of heights. So naturally, he wears a parachute everywhere he goes.
But see, I like him crawling like down from his bunk bed, and I mean, it looks like he's in the clouds, and really, it's just like, this is reality. It's great.
Yeah. So
why would you give your kid who's afraid of heights a bunk bed?
No, see, I feel like that's the theme of this list, is really great creative parents, right? Like the way that Samira's mom deals with Samira's fears, the way that Toby's mom deals with his fears.
We're gonna get you a treehouse and a bunk bed, and you're just gonna deal with it.
But they give him a parachute,
Yeah, that's true. That's
what
true.
I love.
Here, you can deal with this.
I love that he's on the seesaw with his mom, and then he goes so high that he's off the page.
Yep.
So anyways, there's some really, really brilliant illustrations in here, and
I think the story itself is actually really sensitive to people who have these kinds of fears.
Right, it certainly doesn't laugh at the fear.
No.
So
I think it's a good way to start a discussion about fear and anxiety and everything.
Yeah.
So that's just a brief glimpse into the books that we're coming out with for the spring. So you can look for those starting in February.
Yeah. And
it's not that far away, really.
Yeah.
It's already October,
It's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for our spring sneak peek.
Have a happy fall, and we will see you next week.
It's a poem. Or how we would want to end it.